we're here with Alex from SoundCloud at the Next Web in Amsterdam. Alex has just closed some funding, so if we could hear a little bit about, very quickly about SoundCloud, for those who haven't seen the earlier videos, and
sure.
Also what you guys have been doing in funding.
Okay, cool. Yeah, SoundCloud, SoundCloud.com. It's basically an online audio platform for people working with music in one way or another. Some people are calling it kind of the Flickr for music, because we have a lot of things being built on the APIs as well, similar to Flickr. But basically, the concrete thing of what it does is that it helps artists and record labels, people working with music, to send, receive, and distribute their music. So it helps them collaborate in private settings. It helps them keep control over their tracks in public settings, and things like that. It's a very nice, easy to use tool.
I think we're saying like Megashare on steroids.
Yeah, somebody, this Italian DJ was saying, wow, it's like MySpace, and you send it in one, which works for. It definitely replaces kind of you send it and these kind of things that a lot of artists and record labels are using right now. But it's not, it replaces that and adds a lot more niceness around it as well. So. And I mean, we launched publicly in October last year, and it's been growing quite fast since. And then yesterday we just announced our new funding, so which is really exciting. We just it's with Dorothy Hansen Technology Ventures in London. We've raised 2.5 million euros. Yeah, it took quite some time, not so much time though. I think it's one of the fastest closings they've done, Dorothy Hansen. It's definitely kind of pretty hard work at the moment with the kind of current climate. There's a lot of VCs out there that are quite scared with early stage startups still, but it's good to see as well that I mean, a lot of the better VCs are still doing things as usual. They're a little bit more cautious, but if there's good things, they'll go for it.
And what sort of challenges did you find with the VCs in general? What was on their checklist? Obviously, people talk about websites that have revenue and membership. You guys have got both of those. Right.
I think. I mean, this is the first time that we've raised institutional money as well, so I don't have so much to compare with. But a lot of friends that have raised money before, kind of comparing notes with them, it seems that the checklist that the VCs have today is a bit longer than it used to be. It's a lot more things that have to be in place. They're a little bit more cautious about things. I think whereas maybe 2 years ago or something, with an early stage startup, it would still be enough with kind of the vision for things. Now you really have to be able to kind of prove a lot of the usage via getting quite deep into the metrics of things. Have to show that there's actually revenue there, that it's working, that there is a big potential for it to grow. I mean, the obvious kind of criteria, the usual criteria of potential market size and everything are still there, but I think people are maybe a bit more critical than before, really digging into all of the data, all of the indications you have. So you can't just kind of say that you have an idea of something that's going to happen. You have to really have proven the starting points of it already. I think that seemed to be a common thing across the board with all of the VCs we talk to. You really have to have some proof for things, which I think is a good thing.
Yeah, it's better than just throwing money at the wall.
Definitely.
And in terms of, were you looking anywhere specific? Were you going after US VCs, UK VCs? General European? Or?
Well, I mean, we were in talks with a bunch of different people. Some US ones, a lot of different European ones. We weren't too concerned about where they're actually based, as long as they have kind of a global focus on things. And I think, I mean, basically the ones we spoke to had that kind of mentality. Of course, it's easier with the day-to-day stuff if they're not based like in San Francisco, for instance, or something like that. So, I mean, now Dorothy Hansen are mainly in London, and it's close enough to Berlin. So I think it's a good match.
And what sort of value are you getting out of them? Obviously, money is clearly a good thing. But
Right.
I take it you guys you must be getting more in terms of experience and
Yeah, definitely.
hands-on connections. And
Definitely. I mean, we were like, that was one of the things that we were very much looking for from the beginning as well. That we wanted somebody who could provide more than just the money. So I think it's you really. I mean, apart from kind of them having connections and things like that, it's really good to have their kind of perspective on things. You know, I mean, both Eric and I come very much from kind of product focus from the beginning. You know, we built a product that we love and that we know is really useful, and now we're getting kind of the more kind of business focus, getting help with that from them, which is really great. I think that Dr. Jansen have a really great team as well, with a lot of different people with different skill sets. So you can kind of ask different people for different things and get help on a bunch of different stuff. So I think that was an important thing for us as well.
And what was your sort of step-by-step from day one? Let's wake up this morning and go, right, we need some cash. And then what do you do? You just phone up around and go, hey guys, do you want to book some meetings? Or is it,
yeah, we woke up and we were like, you know, it would be nice, wouldn't it? And then we called. No, it was, I mean, it is something that takes quite a lot of time. It takes a lot of preparation even before you get started. I mean, we've been thinking about it almost since the end of last summer. I mean, planning for it, you know, putting slides together, really thinking about kind of what we're looking for, at what time, and what our requirements would be, and then, you know, then it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of meetings, a lot of traveling around. But yeah, and then gradually you meet a couple that you feel really good with, and hopefully, you know, they feel good about what you're doing, and then you keep talking, having more and more meetings, and then eventually, hopefully, you're there.
Music.
It's a little bit like dating, actually, to be honest.
You've got something I want, I've got something you want.
Yeah, it's a bit like dating, just that you're doing. No, exactly. But that's why you make sure, you know, it's you date quite a bit before you get into bed together. That's probably a good thing. Because
music startups are slowly hearing more and more of them, and there's more and more. There's Deezer, there's all the sort of streaming-based startups. There's you guys, there's a few other sort of startups similar to you guys.
Yeah,
space is getting a bit more busy and a bit more.
Right.
A little bit like, I mean, it's getting in terms of. I think it's the technology that's catching up, maybe.
Right.
In terms of track recognition and so on. And
yeah, I'm not sure I would agree. I think, I mean, there's been over the last. I mean, I think the music space has always been quite busy. I mean, a lot of people want to do things related to music because, I mean, everybody loves music, right? So, but I think it's traditionally been, and still is, very much focused on consumer-facing music applications. There's been a couple of other web apps now that are looking a bit more at kind of the steps before the consumer, which is really cool. But there's also, I mean, the economic climate is kind of rough, and it's hitting a lot of music startups as well. I mean, we've seen a lot of even quite big music startups like throwing in the towel lately and just closing down. So I mean, there's new things coming up, but there's also quite a shakeout. I mean, across all sites, but in music sites in particular, I think. So, I mean, I think, you know, the good ones aren't going to have any problems. So the shakeout with a few of the bad ones.
It is. You are right, though. I think there is a shakeout just generally in the market anyway. And as Jeff was saying earlier on today, how he spoke about how everyone needs to sort of be a bit more like Google,
right?
And listen to people and do what they want. There's there's definitely a lot of that being seen in the market. And people who aren't listening are just being tamed to the ground.
Right. I think. I mean, it's too risky not to listen to people. I mean, that's like you have like, you know, thousands or tens of thousands of people using your product and giving feedback on it all the time. I mean, that helps you build a product for them. And I mean, if you can't, I think Jeff is of course talking a lot about how to bring them in and kind of getting them to increase the value of the product somehow. I think you have to do that. I mean, it's not. There's few cases where that doesn't apply. I think. I mean, it's common sense actually. I mean, you have people using something, you're providing something to them, you listen to what they want. That's it. I mean,
it seems more obvious now, I think, than it was before.
Right? Yeah, yeah. I think people could afford to be a bit ignorant before, be a bit lazy about things like that. I mean, and now you just can't, which is a great thing for everybody.
Yeah. It's the fittest survival. So.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. All right. Well, thanks a lot. And,
Cool.
Have a good conference.
Thanks.
Cheers.
You too. Ciao.